The prophet was a businessman before he was a prophet. He traded, he negotiated, he built wealth, and yet we were taught that money is dangerous, that wanting it is greedy, that the truly spiritual man looks away from it. We were taught wrong. There is a version of Islam that gets passed down in most households. It goes like this: money corrupts. Rich people are suspicious. The poor are closer to Allah. Be content with little. Ask for nothing more. And there is truth buried in this somewhere. But somewhere along the way, the message got twisted. Contentment became an excuse for passivity. Poverty became confused with piety. And an entire generation of Muslims was raised to feel guilty for wanting more. So they stay small. They don't build. They don't invest. They don't create. And they call it tawakkul. It isn't. The Quran does not tell you to be poor. The Quran does not tell you to be weak. The Quran does not tell you to watch others build empires while you survive. What it actually says about money, about wealth, about provision, about rizq, is entirely different from what most of us were taught. Allah calls wealth khairan. That word, khairan, means good. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 180, Allah says, "If death approaches one of you and he leaves wealth, it is good, not corruption, not a burden, good." The Quran uses this same word, khairan, to describe the best of things, righteous deeds, mercy, guidance, and it uses it for wealth. This is not an accident. Wealth in Islam is a tool, not a temptation, not a sin, a tool for your family, for your community, for the cause of Allah. But we were never taught this ayah. We were taught to be suspicious of money. Uthman ibn Affan, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, these were companions of the Prophet. They were also among the wealthiest men in Arabia. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf was so successful in business that the Prophet said he would enter Jannah, but crawling. Not because wealth was bad, but because with great wealth comes great accountability. He knew this. He gave away so much in the way of Allah that historians couldn't count it. The Prophet did not tell these men to give up their wealth. He did not tell them to stop trading. He guided them on what to do with it. There is a difference. There is a hadith, narrated by Ibn Majah, in which the Prophet said, "Seeking halal provision is an obligation after the obligations." Read that again. An obligation. After the 5 pillars of Islam, after salah, after zakat, after fasting, comes the obligation to seek halal provision. Not optional, not a luxury, an obligation. A Muslim who does not provide for himself, his family, his community, who sits and waits while others struggle, is not living Islam fully. He is leaving a duty undone. When you wake up early to work, when you build your business, when you study and develop your skills, when you invest and grow your wealth through halal means, you are not chasing dunya, you are fulfilling an obligation, you are worshipping. The Quran warns about something specific. It is not wealth, it is hub. Love, excessive love, obsessive attachment. Surah Al-Fajr, Ayah 20. And you love wealth with immense love. This is the warning, not the possession of it, the love of it above everything else. The man who has 10 million and gives freely, who remembers Allah in his earning and in his spending, that man is not condemned. The man who has nothing but spends his days thinking only of money, who would compromise his deen for it, who would lie and cheat for it, that man carries the disease. The disease is not in the hand, it is in the heart, and this is the test. Can you hold wealth without it holding you? That is the question Islam puts to you. Here is what nobody tells you. The Muslim world is not poor because of Islam. The Muslim world is poor because it forgot what Islam actually taught about wealth. Salahuddin al-Ayyubi funded his armies. The Abbasid caliphs funded libraries, hospitals, observatories. Muslim merchants built trade routes from Morocco to Indonesia. This was not despite their faith. This was because of it. They believed that building in this world was a form of ibadah, worship. That the wealth they earned and distributed was sadaqah jariyah, ongoing charity that would outlast them. They built, they traded, they invested, they gave, and they changed the world. We inherited their deen. We forgot their ambition. Somewhere along the way, we confused poverty with humility. We confused shrinking with submission. But submission to Allah does not mean submission to weakness. A river doesn't stop flowing to prove it is humble. It flows, and everything downstream benefits. You are supposed to flow. The Quran does not promise Jannah to the poorest man in the room. It promises it to the most righteous. And righteousness, in Islam, includes how you earn, how you give, how you build, how you leave this world better than you found it. Your wealth is not yours. The Quran does not promise Jannah to the poorest man in the room. It promises it to the most righteous. And righteousness, in Islam, includes how you earn, how you give, how you build, how you leave this world better than you found it. Your wealth is not yours. It was entrusted to you by Allah. The question is not whether you should seek it. The question is what you will do with it once it arrives.